Hey everybody, thanks for watching another episode. This one is training your children or training your kids. How do you do that, man? How do you train kids to obey? That's right, that's the question. How do you train kids to be in a restaurant and not run all over the restaurant? All right, well, here's how we do it. The first thing that you do is you have to begin early. Okay, that's the first thing. You're gonna find, and I found this with both of my kids at about 8 months old, they were in their high chair and that's when it started. Throwing the spoon, throwing the food, not wanting to do what I'm asking them to do, not wanting to eat what's in front of them, wanting to throw fits and that kind of stuff. So it was at about that time that I began to train the kids like, this is unacceptable. Okay, this is not gonna happen. And now what way that you discipline? For me, I used spanking when I was training my kids. That may not be what you wanna do. I will tell you this though, if you don't do that, you're just gonna have to do a lot more negotiation. I didn't have time for that, and so I wasn't going to do that. Not going to negotiate with my kids. But if you have a different method, use that, whatever works for you. But here's the first thing you got to do. Number one, start early. Number two, you have to establish the rules. The kids have to clearly and absolutely understand what your rules are, what you're expecting of them. They have to know what you're expecting from them at home. How do they act at home? Okay, how do they act in public? How do they act at a friend's house? How do they act in church? They have to know the rules. And then after they know the rules, they have to absolutely know that every time you break these rules, discipline is coming your way. Every single time. Crying and fits never lead to concession on my part, ever, ever. You understand what I'm saying? I know that's going to be tough for you, but I'm going to tell you right now, consistency is the key. If you are not doing what I'm saying, if you're not consistent, you will not get the results you're looking for. And you're going to be at a restaurant and your kid's going to be climbing all over the seat of a stranger while these other family has these kids that are sitting there like this, and you're going to wonder what's going on. Well, consistency is the key. So now that they know the rules and they know what you expect, what I would do with my kids when they were real little is I would talk to them before I went into a place. So if I know I'm going into In-N-Out Burger and this kid's going to be climbing the walls, well, I'm going to stop for a moment before we go in and I'm going to look them right in the eye and I'm going to say, hey, remember the rules. What are the rules? You're not doing this, you're not, and just put the rules out there. Now I'm expecting you to do this. And then I would say, if you break the rule, you will be disciplined and punished for it. You understand? Yeah, I understand. Okay, now they know exactly, it's super clear. Then when you go inside and the kid starts climbing all over the soda machine, what are you going to do? Well, what I would do is I immediately take them to the bathroom where other people cannot watch what I'm doing, and I talk to them, and then I discipline them right there. And that happens every single time. I know when they're little, you're just going to feel like you're just disciplining 24/7. Sometimes that's exactly how it is until the kid learns that they don't rule the house. You do. You are the one who does. Okay. So discipline or disobedience leads to discipline, and they have to understand this. So follow through with love and consistency and never give up. So when I would spank my kids, it was only when they did exactly the opposite of what they already knew laid out they had to do. And then at about, one of my kids was about 3, the other one was about 3.5, when they finally got it. Like they realized, okay. Now my youngest daughter was much more strong-willed than my oldest. So what I had to do was one day I had to spank her, I believe 6 times in one day, for breaking the rules every chance she got. And it was at that day that she finally said, in her mind, she understood, this isn't working. And then boom, a switch flipped and she made the decision, I'm gonna do rather what my dad says. Now, when I would discipline my kids, I would always tell them that I love them. And I always tell them, I have to do this. If I do love you, I have to train you, or you're just gonna be a train wreck for the rest of your life. You know, and I'm not having that on my conscience. I'm gonna train you to do right. And my kids do great. And I remember I've been through tough times. I've had to leave places with kids screaming and yelling because they just weren't going to listen to me. But you know what? Once I got out of that restaurant, discipline happened, training happened, and we tried again. Just never give up, okay? Once they get it, everything becomes easier, and the kids understand, like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then when that happens, your life gets easier, their life gets easier, everybody is doing well. And the reason why you start earlier is because then by the time that kid is old enough to start having memories they remember, they're already trained and ready to go. So don't wait. If you're waiting till 3, 4, and 5, you're making a huge mistake. Train your kids today and watch what happens for tomorrow. So I hope that helps you, and we'll see you soon.